What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we're here with Miss Mary Spio. Now we're going to talk to her a little bit, about definitely she is part of a website named seek.com, but also she's done some other great things in her life. And, we want to hear her story. So Miss Mary, thanks for joining us on the show today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. So Mary, just tell people a little bit about yourself, because some people may ask, say, okay, who is the lady? Where she come from? But tell people a little bit about yourself.
Oh, okay. So I'm Mary Spio. I'm the founder of Seek.com, which is a streaming platform for virtual events and experiences. We do live streams of concerts and the list goes on. I'm also the creator of the world's first ever 4D headphones, which was initially invented for virtual reality, but it's also used for music. It's used for all kind of gaming, and a lot of people say it's actually VR for the ears in the sense that it makes you feel like you're listening to a concert or whatever else. And I started out as an engineer and for the Boeing company, and today I'm the CEO and founder of Seek.com, and yeah.
So look at you innovating on sound. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
That is great, because now let me ask you a question. So people could judge the sound quality. So you have a Beats, and now as Apple owns that now, or you have something from Bose. What do you compare the sound with your headphones versus some of those?
So in terms of comparing the sound, what our customers, tell us is the fact that it's the bass, the deep bass, the vibration, those are all things that, don't come with the Beats by Dre or, the Bose headphones. In addition to that, this is a totally new innovation in sound, in the sense that when you put on the headphones, you can actually hear things above you, below you, and all around, because it was initially created for gaming and also for virtual reality. So when you're in a game like Fortnite, where you want to be able to hear above you, below you, and all around, it's very important that you have this new technology, which didn't exist before because there was no need for it before virtual reality. So it's a totally new experience in sound. And our customers share that with us. I use that on a daily basis, and a lot of people use it on a daily basis as well. We have a lot of elite athletes that use it, and they love it because of the ability to really put them, in the zone.
Yeah, and when we come to technology like that, because like I said, I didn't even know anything was out like that. So now I'm very interested to definitely, get a pair of those so I can just see it for myself. Because especially when I'm, doing my podcast and I'm listening to, what I put out, I always put on my, headphones that I have. I don't just listen to the speakers. I'm listening for certain things. So yeah. Now, does it plug in and is also wireless as well?
Yeah, it is. It's completely wireless. It comes in the in the black and gold, and then it also comes in the gold. And it's completely wireless. Very, very comfortable. And so for all day wear, because we had gamers in mind. So for all day wear. And yeah, it's you plug it in, it could be wired or it could be wireless.
Okay. All right. So you talked about, now you was born originally in the United States, correct?
Yeah, I was born in the US while my dad was at school at Syracuse. That's where I was born. And then he went back to Ghana where, my parents are from. And so I grew up in Ghana, and then I came back at 16 back to New York. And kind of worked my way through.
Let's talk about Ghana a little bit. What city you grew up in Ghana?
So I grew up on the coast. It's called Cape Coast, which is in the central region of Ghana.
Okay, so Cape Coast is around the area that a lot of, at least my ancestors, shipped from, basically.
Yes, it's actually where the castle is. They have a lot of castles around there because it's right on the water. So that's where the Gold Coast. A lot of that's where it's a very historic place.
Oh yeah, yes it is. So when you came back to the U.S., is that the decision your parents made, or that's something that you wanted to do?
It was something that I wanted to do. Actually, I had to beg them to come back because I was 16 years old, and now I have a 10-year-old, so I can't imagine a 60-year-old traveling, to the US or traveling that many miles away. But it was something that I wanted to do. And so I begged and begged and begged, and, they made the ultimate sacrifice, both financially and also emotionally, to send me back to the US.
So you get back to the U.S. and with the purpose you wanted to come back was for education purposes, or you just wanted to get back to life, here in America?
Better life. I was looking for a better life. The things that I saw in movies and stuff like that. So to me, it was the dream, right? The American dream.
But now that you have seen everything that's going on in this country, and we had a president like Donald J. Trump, and everything, and George Floyd, and just the countless, numerous, Black women like Breonna Taylor, so many, I can call so many names, Sandra Bland, etc. When you see all that, and you actually, you have Ghanaian citizenship as well, right?
No, I'm a U.S. citizen because I was in the military as well. So I served in the Air Force. So I don't have dual citizenship. I have U.S. citizenship. Yep.
Okay, that's interesting. I thought you would have had dual citizenship based off of your parents.
When I was in the military, some of the things that I was doing, it required that I had single citizenship. So
okay,
we can't tell you all that. But,
no. I know about military. I got plenty of that in my family. I know you can't get in trouble.
Right.
But okay. So you're a veteran from the Air Force. How long did you serve in the military?
4.5 years. But then I also did, officer training, ROTC, all of that. So probably a total of 10 altogether when I talk about my military service.
Yeah, and it's not easy to get into the Air Force. I know that, because the Air Force, they have a high requirement to get in. So you left from there, and did you use the GI Bill to get your education?
I did. So I started out working at McDonald's, right? When I came back to the States, I was in New York. I had seen Coming to America. So, to me, that was like, I followed the whole thing. I got a job at McDonald's. I know he worked at McDonald's, but I got a job at McDonald's. And then, I went in the Air Force and I used my GI Bill to go back to Syracuse. I also got a scholarship while I was in the Air Force. So between that scholarship and my GI Bill, and then I cannot, not mention GEM. I got a GEM scholarship also, which allowed me then to go to graduate school.
No, but McDonald's, because I worked at McDonald's too, so I think that's a rite of passage. McDonald's helped me understand that this is not a life for me, and I can't flip burgers all my life. So it inspired me to do other things and want to go to different places, because I could not deal with it. And they treat you any kind of way in them places. And then you find out how much these people are making that's supposed to be your supervisor. And you look back at them like, that actually was over me and telling me what to do.
All right. I started on fries, so you were on burgers. I was on fries. And then I made my way to cashier. I wasn't a very good cashier, which was why I was like, I got to do something else. So, because I didn't want to go back to fries.
Yeah, you go home every day smelling like grease. No, but the only good thing,
oil spills on my hands,
Yeah. Only good thing about McDonald's when I worked there a long time ago is that at the end of the night, you could take all the burgers you wanted home.
That was
back when I was doing that, they had them crispy, not them baked apple pies. They had the crispy ones back when I was doing that. That's the ones they had back then too.
Yeah, they had those crispy ones too.
That was the best McDonald's apple pies they ever had. I don't know why they got rid of them.
Yeah, and the fries too. I love the fries. So it was. I love the fries. I love the Big Mac.
I didn't know better back then that food was basically trash food. But hey, we were young, we didn't know no better.
Right.
So,
It was definitely.
So you got you went through Syracuse, got your degree. Matter of fact, I mean, Dr. Boyce Watkins. I mean, he graduated from Syracuse as well. So I mean, Dr. Boyce Watkins, right?
I don't.
Okay, well, look him up. Like I said, that's some of your alumni. Look him up.
Oh, okay.
Great brother, good brother. So you got your engineering. So how did you end up getting to the point that you end up creating the website, the web platform. I looked at the website and I'm like, oh man, I like the functionality of this. It's a good website. Got a lot going on over there. So, what inspired that?
So what inspired that, growing up, I always loved the idea of space, right? So I always wondered what it would be like walking in space, all of that. And then I became a deep space engineer. So I went back to Syracuse University and then Georgia Tech to get my degree in electrical engineering and computer science. But my focus was in deep space. So I was building satellites. And then I wanted to really do something on the media and entertainment side. So I worked, with the Boeing company. I had created a lot of technologies, which I sold to them and then also helped them build, which was for movie distribution. But then I, realized that, so basically what the technology did before this technology, it cost about $30 million just to distribute movies to 30,000 theaters because you had the reels. But with the technology, you could do a single broadcast over satellite and it could be like 300,000. So it was tremendous cost savings. But I realized that it was still not accessible to independent movie makers. And, so I created the platform to help distribute content for independent movie makers, which then, became something that's used by radio. But it's been a journey that ultimately, but I've been working on streaming for movies, streaming for radio, and then now, streaming, live streaming, as well as for VR and all of that. And in terms of, the other devices and everything that came along with it, these were all things that were necessary to complete the experience.
Okay, so you inventing headphones, you're running, this platform. Sound like you're extremely busy.
Yeah.
So how do you manage it all? How do you make? Because some people may ask, okay, how does she manage all of this? I mean, she came up with all these inventions. I mean, I'm pretty sure you patent a lot of your. I hope you patent your things.
Yes.
Patent everything. Yeah. I know eventually them folks gonna come your way and want to buy it off you. That's usually how it works. But on top of that, have you spread some of this even on the African continent or even in Ghana? Because there's so many talented people also on the African continent, and it's. I mean, if you know that you go there, some people like got degrees, doctorate degrees, and they drive an Uber.
Right. My hairdresser has a, is studying to be a doctor, so yeah, a lot of talented people just looking for the right opportunity. Absolutely. The reason I launched the platform even before this to allow people on the continent and then also people distributing music and independent film to be able to go directly to their audiences, particularly for music, because what most people don't realize is that if you're not based in the US, a lot of times you could have 100 million streams on YouTube and you still won't be able to monetize it. So even before COVID, a lot of the artists wanted to find a way to generate revenue directly from their fans. So that's why I launched the platform. So it's definitely, and our mission is helping, artists, mega stars, independent artists, it doesn't really matter, to be able to create sustainable careers by directly monetizing their content with their audience. And today with COVID, where artists can no longer tour, and 80% for most artists, touring is where their revenue comes from. So we're very, very busy now. We've got all kinds of, artists that are on the platform. We've had Migos, we've had Demi Lovato, we've had, Sarkodie, who's from Ghana. And, every single day we have a lot of, music artists that are looking to connect directly with their audience. And that's what the platform is for, to enable that.
Well, let me ask you a question about that. Just maybe people are asking, because let's say like sometimes they say, certain subject matter or certain things you talk about on YouTube, maybe you can't talk about that here. Is Seek the type of platform that you could talk about, a different subject matter or whatever, if you sign up, or I don't even know how. I mean, I saw you could sign up, but is it something that you're paying for, or you have to have an exclusive deal with the site?
Well, our primary focus has been music, because for artists, their fan base, they're used to paying for tickets, so, but really it's for anybody that has content where they want to charge the fans in order to watch it. But, we support, the artistry And I know what it feels like, to be censored, right? Before this, I had braids and I had dreads also. And I've posted on platforms where they wouldn't even let me post because they said it was social issues. So a lot of these algorithms are very faulty. A lot of times, they're looking out for the wrong things and they're really limiting. A lot of the platforms are being sued by us because they're not showing the content, and there are a lot of issues, and that goes beyond music, and that is exactly why I built the platform to help artists connect directly with their fans, through concerts and stuff like that.
Yeah, and just to hear you say that, I am so like I'm so against hair discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
I speak against it, hard, because it's not right. We're the only people that's targeted for the hair to grow out of our
Yes.
head,
Yeah.
or natural hairstyles. That's why
Yeah.
on my platform, I welcome natural hairstyles all day.
Yes.
Wear
Yep.
them. Please wear them.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you look
I
at
switch it up all the time. Yep.
yeah, you look at mainstream media. They don't let the brothers and sisters wear natural hair. You got to have your hair cut short if you're your brother, and you can maybe have a little hair but not much. But it still has to be short. And if you're a black woman, you got to wear the same straight permed look. You can't express
Same
yourself.
thing. Yeah.
It's sad. So when you were dealing with that, I mean, like, did you like tell them and say, hey, well, it seems like I'm being discriminated against for my, hair, or you just kind of like, well, you know what, I'm gonna create my own?
I was like, I knew I had to create my own. I was glad that came up because I knew that I had to create my own. Even on one platform, I gave the commencement speech at Syracuse University, and there are pictures that I posted online, and somebody forwarded me, screenshots where one platform had it as sensitive information. So what kind of, what are they doing? How are they censoring this kind of stuff? And a lot of, my friends that are not of color, so I see some of them even, with everything out and all kinds of stuff, and they're not running into these issues. So we are definitely targeted on a lot of platforms unduly. So I figured out I'll create my own, and but I created this platform to empower artists, particularly urban artists on the continent, and, anyone really that's looking to extend their reach and generate additional revenue directly from their user base to be able to distribute their content. And it's not just the live streams. We're also distributing the content to virtual reality headsets. We have schools that are, looking to do that. And really VR and all these immersive technologies, this is the future. So I want to be able to, give people access to that. It's the 3D web, and we need to be able to have ownership in the 3D web.
Yes, I definitely 100% agree. And when you said that you had to create your own, I said that's what I like about Master P. Master P push that hard. Him, Dame Dash, those two brothers, they big into pushing that. And because these platforms are just, let's call it what it is, Mary, these platforms are racist. Because a friend of mine, she had posted a picture on Instagram and they took it down for nudity, and she was not nude. She wasn't even exposing anything. Right. Like some of the girls, like the ones I've seen on Instagram do things, and just because she's African American, I mean, like I don't get that. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of the algorithms, unfortunately, are racist. And then other times, so what happens is they haven't really tested it. They test it on the same people, right? It's white males creating it, so they only test it on white males, and so everybody else gets excluded, or some people just get under the radar. And it's the same thing with the VR headsets, right? I created my own VR headset because when I started, doing VR, experiencing VR, I noticed that a lot of the headsets in the marketplace used to really give me headaches, and I realized that they had only tested it on men. And so I had to actually work with our own, ophthalmologists and scientists, make sure that the lenses were covering the full range, and then also focus on mobile and creating something that was going to be affordable, for people on the continent, for people in the US, and, everywhere else, to be more inclusive. Technology needs to be more inclusive. You would be amazed at how little we contribute to the technology that targets us. We need to go from being consumers to being able to create some of this. And this is how we do generational wealth, and we could do it.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't Silicon Valley only have maybe 2% Black employees? 2 to 4%.
Yeah, I don't know where the percentages are, but they're very low. But of the trillions of dollars that are invested, right? They have 2% that goes to women, and then they have less than a percentage that goes to people of color, right? Particularly Black people. And for those people who are thinking, well, it's their money, they can do whatever it is. But most of the money are coming from pension funds, which are Black and brown people that are contributing that money into those pension funds. They're janitors, we're doctors, lawyers, nurses, all the people that are contributing to the pension funds. And then all that money is being taken, and 98% are being contributed to non-Black and brown. And then the other 2% are going to women. And so that is where the injustice of the fact that they're not, funding minorities. But we're seeing progress because a lot of companies have stepped up to the plate. But, Silicon Valley still needs to be held accountable, particularly those that are taken from pension funds. And a lot of them also are taken from athletes, right? So, and when you look at the leagues, it's majority Black. And yet the funds that go into all these different places, they're not coming to us. So it's coming right out of our communities. And 98, actually, since we're getting less than 1%, so 99% of these pension funds and capital that are coming from these athletes are going straight out of our communities, straight out of it. And most of the people that they're investing in are not being responsible with it. You look at a company like Fab that got 300 million. The guy blew it, was very nonchalant about it. And I can sit here and give you Magic Leap. They received $3.5 billion. Do you know how many people, how many Black businesses they could have funded? But this is the type of, and that is, we have a lot of civil rights issues that are happening now, but that is the magnitude of what is happening there, the broad day robbery that's going on there. That is also something that needs to be included in the Black Lives Matter agenda. And especially now that you have all these different companies that are stepping up, wanting to fund Black and brown, we need to make sure that the same travesty is not going to continue, and that the funds are not going to go back in the same hands of the people that are giving it to 99% on Black and brown, when these funds are earmarked for us now. So it's been going on for way too long.
Yeah, and Mary, like I said, over here, we have definitely, we are so politically focused on a lot of things that comes to our community. And when it comes to the allocation of funds, we have to be laser targeted when we talk about those things, because, we have found out just based off of the years of research, and then we just looking at what people have done, like we look out for other people and other groups. And then when they get on, they never look back at us, right? So what we just found out, what we've said is this: okay, Black women, Black men, we got, when it comes to politics and the allocation of funds, we got to really target it and say Black people, because if we say minorities, usually we at the bottom of minorities, the way the system works, right? When they say women, they don't mean you; they mean white.
No, they don't.
When they say women, so that's why we
like the 2%. When they say women, they mean white women. Yeah,
they mean white women. They don't mean you, right?
No,
so that's why I'm so laser targeted when I talk about this service. So see, we need people like you to go say, listen, Black people, Black men and Black women aren't getting the capital. They aren't getting, the jobs. They aren't getting anything. Why is this so dominated by white males, and then after that, Asian people as well? I think that's the two main ones in Silicon Valley, correct?
They're the two main ones, yeah. Because I mean, when you think about 98%, going to white males, that also includes, Asian males.
Asian males, yes, right.
Yeah. And the other aspect, I just need to add this too. With the Asian males also, there's a lot of support that comes from China, so we need to support our, communities as well.
And then also what's been happening, and what I kind of fear a little bit with, and because I've heard Kamala Harris talk about this. She talked about bringing more Indian people in, and I ain't got nothing against Indian people, but a lot of times they bring them into Silicon Valley to work jobs because there's a lot of smart people in India. You know, I admit that. You know, and that's, but when they bring more people in, then what about you? What about other people that's in the Black community that maybe will want those jobs, etc.? So we really got to fight, you know, for, like you say, the allocation of resources. Like you said, this is how many Black businesses can be funded. You even look at us. I wouldn't even need billions to even take this platform to another level. I would need even a sliver of that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's what they do, Black businesses, you know, all over the place. Like you look at coronavirus, you know, a lot of us did not even get the funds from the SBA. A lot of Black people just didn't even know about it, you know, and because I talked to, you know, sister yesterday, she said, I didn't even know about the funds. So it's so many things that we have to do to get access to these resources. Because, you know, at one point in time, they used to tell Black people we just want welfare. We know, with coronavirus, how they was the first ones to run for welfare. You know, so I don't think we should be embarrassed to go after no program, no funding whatsoever.
Yeah, and I mean, we should be very, you know, vocal about it. And I think there should be programs, you know, and this is, it's a big issue. It is a huge issue that, you know, building the civilizations for the rest of the world, and we don't get the support for it, especially when you look at the fact that we're the ones that are toiling to put those funds into these pension funds that then goes to all white males, and we don't get any of that. That, you know, athletes that we have supported and have done well in our communities that then put their funds into athletes, actors, all that, and then we don't get any of that, you know, and the justification is not there. A lot of times people are pattern matching, right? They're saying, oh, well, I'm going to go find the next Zuckerberg. I'm going to find the next this one and that one and that one, but it's not working. So you need to be able to find the next best businesses. And because our communities have been, you know, have received so little funding, there's so many great ideas, there's so much innovation, and there's so many very hardworking people that are very passionate about the businesses that they're building. And it's super important that these, you know, contributions, that we're able to make these contributions, and that it's you know, that we're included, you know, in the future of building this country and creating jobs. This is job creation. It starts with us.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And Miss Mary, you know, with that being said, I would like you to tell people how they can get those headphones, the VR, how they can get anything that you have going on, because I definitely want people to support, because that way I want to go support. I want to go buy some headphones. So let people know how to get to that.
Absolutely. So they can go to seek.com, which is CEEK.com, and they'll be able to get the headphones. It makes great gift for the holidays. And then also, you know, if you have kids or even for yourself, with our VR headset, you download our app, you just, you know, it's on the phone, you download the app, you put it in here, and you can have relaxation. You can go on a virtual safari to Africa, or you can enjoy a concert, right? You could be right inside of the concert. But most importantly, it's so important that we get these in the hands of our kids so that they're playing with it, they're learning, and they're designing the future of all this 3D web that's, you know, that's coming. But seek.com, CEEK.com, and then click on headphones, click on headset, and please, you know, support us so we can in turn, you know, support, because my goal is to be able to fund, you know, other Black innovators and Black businesses.
Yes, ma'am. And that's what we should be doing. Like I said, Dr. Claude Anderson taught us about that group economics. That's going to really save us at the end of the day. But ladies and gentlemen, make sure you support, Miss Mary over here. Go to seek.com. Check out the website. I checked it out. It's a good functioning website. And look around. You could join it and watch some shows. She had multiple shows on there. I thought that was interesting as well, outside of music. So check it out. We'll put the link in the pinned comment. So Miss Mary, we definitely thank you for joining us on the show today, and sharing with us, what's going on in the world of tech.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And it's been a pleasure. And thank you for the great work that you're doing. And, we'll continue to support you as well. Thank you very much.